Hello and welcome to the Georgia Hockey D3 channel. Tonight for you, the Georgia Hockey D3 team, of course, will take on the Eastern Kentucky Colonels. Joining me, Joe Kopsho, is of course Ren Grimsley. Ren, what do you look forward to in this matchup, the first of the semester for these D3 Ice Dawgs?
Yeah, like you said, first of the semester. It's been a long time since they've played. I'm looking forward to a lot of points from this first line of the Dogs and Schwannekamp, Herzig, and Johns. That's going to be where a lot of their points come from.
First line of the Dogs wins the draw after the tie-up. They skate in the zone quickly. Shot on goal, goes wide. Looked like it was on the edge. Colonels attempt to clear. Starting defenseman Jared Dye dumps it back in, but eventually it is pushed back out. It'll be Dye and Casey at the back end. Casey likes to come forward and be aggressive a lot, and then the first line in Schwannekamp, Herzig in the middle, and Johns, the captain, on the right wing. Tie up in the goal, and it goes in. A collision happened right out in front, and early on in the game, there's already been a goal just 30 seconds in. Looked innocent coming in, but maybe got through the 5-hole of starting goalie Jake Cisna.
And that's so huge. 30 seconds in, the Dogs already with a goal. They're 0-4 on the season. The Colonels, however, are 5-3, so it would be nice to get a win here at home. First home game for this D3 team.
This is a good Eastern Kentucky team, and like you mentioned, the Dogs trying to turn things around. As you can see in the replay here, just happens to find its way in the net. So I even forgot to start the game clock, so interesting. 2 shots, 1 goal. Ice Dawgs come out hot. D3 team lost the draw. Some offensive pressure by the Colonels. However, some passing here and a saucer up ice clears the space, but loses possession for the Dogs. Ref has the offsides arm up, but they got back on. However, puck quickly turned over, and a big check right in front of the glass. Colonels pushing, shot wide of the net. Close one there as it didn't look like McHugh got a good line on it. Now 3-on-2 opportunity for the Dogs. Skating fast, drop pass, saucered over just a little too high. It'll go into the half wall. Now Colonels come back the other way. A little ping pong hockey here. 3-on-2 for them. Step through, pass, shot wide. Just over the glove of McHugh. This shot finds its way through, stopped into the skate of a defenseman. Little ping pong again at mid-ice as a man goes down. This one dumped deep into the zone. Both teams get a change. Tried to clear, but kept in by Price. Price throws it on net, gets hit, pops right back up. Again, big slap shot from the point. This one sticked away. Colonels and Dogs will chase in the half wall, thrown all the way down. Should be icing, but beaten out by fast skating from Nick Rentilla. He loses it, though, and now the Ice Dawgs come back the other way. Checked in the back. They'll say nothing there. Interesting. Is just coming over the blue line. Maybe lost the skate is the argument from the refs. Here, Colonels coming back the other way. Another big check in center ice. Ren, I would say at the very least, these two teams are looking forward to be able to play again.
Oh, yeah, lots of aggression. We talked a little bit about it before the game, but these EKU Colonels are very big and very aggressive.
Yeah, they've got some big players, a smaller bench than the D3 Dogs, but plenty of energy with them. Down early, they'll get their first shot on goal, bouncing around in the crease, cleared out. Good play. And there'll be a whistle. Not too sure what it's for yet. It looks like the post came off, so McHugh gets a bit of a break. He did an excellent job with his stick there, Ren, to break up the move of the Colonel.
Absolutely, and if there's one thing the Dogs are going to want to do, it's control these forwards. Almost all of their goals have come from these forward lines, and most of their forwards are all pretty consistent, pretty even goals throughout. You got Logan Boatwright with 13 goals, and many other guys with lots and lots of goals, but not as many from the defense, so.
Yeah, Boatwright skates into the right of his center. As he got the puck and threw it on goal, it would be sticked away, and now the Dogs come the other way. Skating up the right wing, cutting back in, tries to trot pass in the slot, caught on the stick, and finds the back of the net. Looks like perhaps a wraparound opportunity, a beautiful pass from the blue line, and again, Cisna just beat. Ren, what'd you see there?
He was down at the goal line. It was almost sort of like a Michigan, but sort of like he tossed it up, hit the back of the goalie, and fell right in. That's huge mentally for the Dogs now, up so early, 2-0. Eastern Kentucky's going to have to fight back if they want to be in this for the rest of the game.
I was going to say, it was almost like a short side Michigan. It looked like he picked it up on a stick and just threw it in softly. Can't say more about the great pass up front, as it is now 2-0 Dogs.
And another thing the Dogs are going to want to take advantage of, like you said earlier, many more players on the Georgia bench than the Eastern Kentucky. So keeping line changes consistent and seeing if by the third period they're just so tired that we can keep the momentum on our side.
Whistle here blows it dead as there'll be a face-off to the right of Cisna. Apologize for some technical issues early, as just two broadcasters and the play-by-play man doing production is not an easy thing to juggle. But right now, early, not even 5 minutes in, a 2-0 lead for the D3 Dogs. On the draw, it looks like Maurer. He loses it, but team gains possession cleanly, but they have to take it back to maintain that possession as good sticks from the Colonels. Up the wall. Pass goes to Pacheco, and he gets it moving up the right side. Step around move by Santa Maria fails as a good body. However, he still chases it deep. He's on the ground, almost catches a skate up high. Luckily, all right. Dogs retain possession. They'll throw it back down the wall. It'll go all the way around to the other half wall before Jared Dye can keep it in. Now a scrum at that very far wall. Bodies flying. Back up to the point is the puck. Shot here, wrister goes wide. It looked like it went off a body out in front. This puck will leave the zone. However, Dogs will try and get possession quickly again, however, turn it over. On the chase for the Colonels is number 19. He loses it, and Dogs clear, but without clean possession, they'll have to regroup. Quick change for each side. Dogs looking to maintain pressure while they can. Back and forth game here early, but the Dogs getting the best of it as this dump in will be chased down. A big hit and no call. Close to the boards. The Dogs defender received all this one. Now back out in front, makes a good play to chip it away. So most important part of getting hit is how you respond and get back up. Did an excellent job as the Dogs will now throw it down the ice. Two skaters on top of each other. They'll take it in. Tyler Casey mentioned that defenseman likes to attack. Shot turned away by Cisna. Still out in front. Casey picks it back up again. Pass to the other side. A little too far out in front. This shot turned away again. Casey will return to his defenseman's position where he tries to throw it in the slot. Picked up by a Dog, but eventually sticked away all the way down the ice for what should be icing.
And you've got to love a ref crew that lets them play. Some big hits. We saw one down at both corners, actually, including one from K. Santa Maria, who obviously has a long lineage of Santa Marias in the UGA hockey family. So he's with Christopher and Caleb.
Yeah, his
brothers proud out there.
Brothers, of course, spent their time on the D1 team, as did Santa Maria. We apologize, a little bit more technical difficulty if you're hearing the hum. As the Colonels win this one, it's a 1-on-5 though, as they get a full change and then another whistle, and it's 6 players on the ice. This has got to be on the Colonels as they were in a mass change. So Eastern Kentucky will go into the box with 14, about 25 remaining.
And that's something that just comes from having not played in a while. You're going to have a little bit of miscommunication. See, this is the only place that Ice Dawgs can practice, so.
So, yeah, the penalty was actually on the Ice Dawgs. So the Ice Dawgs on the penalty kill. It's a good opportunity for the Colonels to get back into it.
The Ice Dawgs just going to waste time right here, send one all the way down into the zone. Just eat up as much of that clock as they can.
Good start to the penalty kill. However, now on a rush is Nico. He'll throw it into the glove of Kieran McHugh. So a good about 30, maybe 45 seconds of the penalty kill. With the outdoor arena, there's not a clock that we can see. So we're just guessing. So the Dogs win the face-off, and that's important to the penalty kill as they're able to clear all the way down the ice. Good job here by the Dogs.
And staying strong on that forecheck, keeping them in their zone. A big hit right there by number 28, Matthew Schwanekamp.
Yeah, Schwanekamp right out in front of the camera said, I'll put on a show. As the Colonels try and develop something. Not clean passing here, but it does get in the high slot before the Dogs are able to send it all the length of the ice. Now a shorthanded opportunity, the pass just too far. Pass into the slot, broken up for now. It's still in the goalie's hands. Cisna did not even know where it was at. And that should be around the end of the penalty kill, don't you think?
And still have that first line out there on the penalty kill. That was Hertzig that nearly had a breakaway. It was just right out of the reach of his stick. And then Schwanekamp again on the crease looking to try and knock the goalie's pads and see if the puck would fall into the back of the net.
So it feels like we're near the end of the penalty kill. Again, no way for us to know for sure, but it feels that way. As the Dogs win possession, so it should be able to kill off the last of the penalty kill. As I can see the man itching to get out of the box. Another big check here, sent over the blue line, so that'll kill more time. Santa Maria fighting for it at the line, and a dump in allows the Dogs maybe another chance to sauce it out. Instead, a move. The defenseman, Connor Wooten, is able to get around his man. A stick goes flying, a man to the boards, and now Santa Maria tries to step around. Sticked away by Cisna. Dogs are full strength, shot at Cisna, gloved. The energy here is palpable as these fans got excited at the penalty kill, and then a shot right when it was over.
Oh yeah, you gotta love some students coming out first week back, looking to rep the Dogs. Obviously no more football, so this is how we gotta get our energy out.
Yeah, the student section is fairly large. There's actually multiple rows that you can see, so interesting, as I think it's a lot of the D1 hockey team as well supporting their D3 members. This one cleared out to center ice. Colonels will have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Shot easily patted away by McHugh. Good movement here, though, from the Colonel, something we really haven't seen all game. No, it gets held up, and a good job to stop it on the half wall and get it out of the zone. Colonels will try and come back right away. Ren, it looks like these teams just get a little bit too ahead of themselves on these clears and trying to get odd man rushes. It's worked for the Dogs, but not the Colonels yet, as Torrin Smith gets a clear.
Yeah, I agree. Some of the defensemen for the Colonels I don't think have been coming up to the zone. And so it's basically been a 5-on-3 with the forwards trying to get a goal all by themselves.
As the Dogs get a switch, and now likely the Colonels will switch once they clear. Sauce pass. Good movement here from the Dogs. A step around, left him in the dust. Shot goes wide after it goes off a stick. Now wraparound opportunity in the slot. Now off the pad and finally cleared. That'll probably go down as 2 more shots for the Dogs, who are certainly winning that category right now. Traffic in the middle, and somehow the Dogs come up with it. No offside, shot into the glove of Cisna.
And that was really good shot placement, but Cisna.
And a fight breaks out in the corner.
Just a little bit of pushing and shoving, it seems.
No punches. But we'll see if the refs send people to the box. might be a tone setter when you have a fight this early, not even the 10-minute mark.
This has been a very lenient
the
ref crew.
The crew will let it go, so I would agree, Ren. They've been letting things go, and maybe they want to make their day a little easier. Also, as said, no punches thrown. Shot off the draw, patted away, it looked like. Might have went off a body. Kept in with the glove by Schwannekamp. Now John's chasing. He pins it up behind the net. Excellent job there, extra hit. Another extra hit, but this puck will come back to the blue line. Kept in. Shot. Intended to go off, perhaps a dog or even a colonel, but stopped right up in front. Now Herzig back the other way. He'll dump it in. And the Colonels, no communication. Herzig's the first to it, despite the pass intended for a Colonel from a Colonel. Dogs, again, get possession after a blown tire from Nightco. Schwannekamp, his 28 partner to Nightco, will throw it around the boards. Johns looks content to let his partner chase this one. Now he'll come in, and it's kept in at the blue line. Defender looks like Casey steps up. Actually, that's Fleming. So Fleming sends it across, and now Die. It was Casey, apologize. Those 8-9s can be hard once there's a wrinkle in the jerseys. Fast skating here from the Colonels. They cause a turnover. Nightco now walks in, tries to step around, pass, shot, goes wide. Excellent opportunity with a little sweet passing from the Colonels, but can't get anything out of it, as the give and go certainly worked. They still have that offensive pressure. Eventually the puck skitters out of the zone. And we're more than halfway through this first period. The Dogs itching for their first win. They're in the driver's seat. Will they remain there? Skating in, shot. This one goes off. Cisna, followed up by a Dog, but a hound of Colonels follows. Another shot, this one at the side of the net. Still chipping, and we hear an early whistle. For what reason? As it looks like the referee lost sight of the puck, but Ren, that was pretty clearly still bouncing around.
Yeah, the goalie never had it in his pads or anything. Like you said, I think the referee just lost sight of it. You can feel the confidence of this Ice Dawgs team up early, as opposed to games like Alabama last semester, where there wasn't so much.
New semester, new Dog. Shot comes in. It finds the back of the net. 5-hole, it looks like, of Cisna. And this is a period he's going to want to forget, as another goal gets added to the Ice Dawgs total.
And that one, I think, bounced in the crease off of a body. I'm not exactly sure who. But it's so easy for goalies to lose track of that when you just have a guy in the middle blocking their view.
Looked like Drew Lannon who threw it on the net. As you said, it looked like it bounced off. Not too sure if it was another Dog or perhaps even a Colonel, but he led the line. So 3-0 game, and only not even 12 minutes in, and now the Dogs will have another 3-on-2 rush. Skates in, broken up, still finds an Ice Dawgs stick. Shot on goal, Cisno doesn't know where it is. Two defenders on the ground trying to clear. They're able to save themselves for now. Dogs still with the pressure. At the half wall, bodies flying. Dogs look like they come up with it, and we'll have a whistle. A stick hits the ground. What'd you see there, Ren?
Not exactly sure, to be honest with you. They're opening the Eastern Kentucky box.
And it looks like a hold. Although referee not pointed near us or towards us, so for all I know, it could have been some other sign, but it looks like a hold on Captain Santa Celia.
And another great opportunity here for the Dogs to increase this lead.
And it'll be Johns, it looks like, on the draw. He loses. It goes behind the net, though. Perfect positioning here if the Dogs can get it. They do. So now they'll go into their power play, as the Colonels, aggressive all game, will likely try and just get bodies out in front. Chipped around the net, behind the net. Now out in front, high slot, just misses the tape. Now Santa Maria skating in. Shot into the body of Cisna. He's able to bring that glove up and cover.
And there were no defenders in the way of Santa Maria. He could have taken a little bit more space and maybe placed it somewhere else, but still a great save by Cisna. And it's important that the Dogs keep the puck in their own zone and not allow Eastern Kentucky to get a change here, as they're already looking a little tired right now.
After the draw, Hertzig gets possession at the blue line. Now down behind the goal. No, getting it on the stick this time as it goes back to Casey. Casey, big slap shot. Cisno doesn't know where it is.
Went flying out of the arena.
Off that pad, worked like a ramp, and someone got a souvenir.
I think it went over the audience, as it is long gone now. But there will be a change for the Colonels now, but also a change for the Dogs. As there's about a minute, 15 seconds left in the power play.
Thank you for everyone tuning in, and if you could leave a like, and if you want to be active in the chat, but liking and subscribing helps for next time this D3 team streams. They'll get updates as they win the draw. Pass off the boards and the skates, but well controlled. Now down at the red line. Shot from the red line, stuffing it in. Cisna, he doesn't know where it is. Now out in front, Cisna's on the ground. Shot, score! Cisna lying around, and they'll wave it off. And that one, I would guess, is for goalie interference.
I believe the goal went off of the peg. So we saw that down at the Georgia end earlier.
I think the refs are going to have to discuss this, and I think the UGA team will continue to celebrate, because the discussion here has to be if it came off its peg intentionally by Cisna, and if not intentionally, if the goal still would have been scored. However, it's now been announced no goal. UGA should remain on the power play, though.
And a minute in, already gotten 4 or 5 shots on goal. And it seems to be a strategy for the Dogs down at the red line. Pass it onto Cisna's left side and just try and put something in. Just squeeze it in through his pads. And it's worked a couple times, so that might be a good strategy to continue.
And Cisna, usually relatively strong, .837 save percentage as the Colonels win this one, so they'll send it down the ice. The first time they've really gotten it out of the offensive zone since this power play started. But as saying, Cisna, usually a good goalie, less than 5 goals allowed per game. However, he's been on the short end of the stick here.
He's on pace for a few more than that.
Just a couple. As 7 minutes remain in the first period, Dogs on the power play. Looks like Maurer shoots wide. Dogs will retain possession out in front. They'll regroup, though, as they have about 30 seconds left. Defender loses his stick. Tried to tuck it in, did the forward. However, couldn't beat Cisna. D-to-D pass. Now down to the office and just misses high and wide. And now the Dogs are running out of time on this power play. They'll get some more movement down behind the net. Looks like they'll go back to their defender. They will. However, puck on edge, settled down. Penalty is killed off. So Dogs 0 for 1 on the power play after a goal's called up. However, there's an arm up. It looks like cross check, and a Dog will skate towards the box. So they go from the power play to the penalty kill, as it looks like Joshua Madison is the man pegged for the crime.
Yeah, and this is big for Eastern Kentucky right now. They haven't had a lot of zone time this game, especially not the past few minutes as the Dogs have been on the power play, and really haven't challenged McHugh. I think he's only seen 2 or 3 real shots on goal. So if they can get a couple of really good shots right here, I think they can get one in.
So, of course, Colonels had a power play earlier. Dogs did a good job to kill it off. However, they'll get a shot here early from the point. Turned away by McHugh. Tried to clear from behind the net. Still fighting at the blue line. 2 Colonels, 2 Dogs. Dogs win it as that puck will skate on edge on that yellow line all the way down. Colonels will start their run again. Dogs will try and break it up, and they'll do so pretty successfully as a dump in, not necessarily the move you want when you're on the power play. Another whistle here as a man went down on the net. That'll force that net off. So couldn't see who laid the check, but it was Aiden Lynn who fell into the net and knocked it off.
Yeah, and on that one, I think number 17 for the Colonels, Maxfield, should have gone a little deeper into the zone. He was sort of sitting around the blue line when the puck was coming in and just ran out of room and had to dump it in, like you said.
Excellent face-off here out in front of Cisno. He doesn't know where the puck is. Off the face-off, Dogs threw it all the way down and took a weird bounce and was right in front of Cisno. Now the Colonels come the other way. Interesting scenario there. One perhaps we're not used to seeing. Colonels have the puck. They'll dump it off, but the first man to it would be Wooten. He tries to chip it out, kept in on the half wall, and sent all the way down. This one to the left of, or excuse me, right of Cisna. He'll play it to his defender. Dangerous pass. Another D-to-D pass. This one more safe. However, the Dogs quick on the forecheck, even on the penalty kill.
That's Herzig again. He's been all over the place this game.
Dogs cause the turnover. Step in. Cisna blocks it away. Excellent move there as the defender came flying in, and just a little step around by Tyler Casey. Now Dogs have to get back 3-on-2 if the Colonels hurry. Good stick there as the puck almost leaves the zone, but a good keep. Colonels chip it in deep. Now Fleming comes out with it. He's able to throw it out of the zone, but he'll have to chase back quickly. He was wanting a change. Now he'll be in charge of clearing again. He tries to pass, and it eventually gets out. So that ends the power play of EKU in only a couple shots, and maybe an even better opportunity on the penalty kill for the Dogs.
Yeah, not much on that power play for the Colonels. They just haven't really been able to settle it down in the zone and get some passes and find any open shots. It's just the Dogs have been clearing it so easily.
Dogs now coming the other way. It's again Herzig, first line center, has done all he can to get this 3-goal lead for the Dogs. And, well, if it's a 3-goal lead in the first, I'd say you're successful. Looks like a check from behind there as the arm goes up, and we're going to have another penalty pretty quickly. I wouldn't see this game as chippy, Ren, but the amount of penalties handed out in this first period would maybe say otherwise, as it will be an Ice Dog going to the bench, or the box, excuse me, and it's Torrin Smith in the sin bin.
Yeah, and like you said, this is somewhat of a chippy game, a little more than I think we were expecting, especially two teams that don't really have any bad blood for each other.
So Smith will get to think about what he's done. And on the ice, we'll continue with Adams. Celia on the draw for EKU, an important draw for them. Gets tied up in the ref's skates. Thrown back to the blue line, but Colonels do get possession behind the net of McHugh. They'll skate it out. Creative skating here as he tries to go around the world, eventually sticked away, but he does complete his little travel. Less than 3 minutes remain in the period as the Dogs are able to clear. Colonels get possession back at half ice. They call them on. Seemed like the Dogs disagree, however, fired wide. Another shot at McHugh. Not very challenging to the goalie.
The Dogs have been able to find opportunities man down. And that's just constantly keeping the Colonels on their toes as they've been keeping a man back, pretty much staying out of the zone to avoid any breakaways that the Dogs might try and get.
Shot there by starting center. Celia goes wide. Dogs defender gets it. He'll send it up to the half wall. Now Johns will lay a reverse hit. Left the puck. Decided I need to get this hit on. He's got the puck now. He'll send it all the way down, and this one will find its way to Cisna. So not too sure how long is left of the EKU power play as this shot goes off the pad of McHugh. An arm pad used to push it away up into the glass. And this puck will leave the zone. Rep tries to get out of the way, but gets chipped and taken down. Dogs now with some offensive zone time as the puck is lost from the ref's sight again, I guess, Ren. An early whistle. Actually, again, the goal came off.
Yeah, there was some pushing and some shoving in the crease. That was Pacheco for the Dogs.
I thought it was another early whistle on losing the puck, but the net came off. And it's been on both sides where that net has come off at least 3 times. Maybe a little bit of playing outside factoring into it, as this one is patted away by Cisna. Colonels get possession. They'll send it all the way down the ice. That should be icing, and it is.
And that'll just about wrap up the Colonels' power play, though we don't really know. But Torrin Smith seems to be ready to get out of that box.
Smith was looking at his coach, asking what he wants, I believe, once he gets out. And he's standing and has his arm on the door, so he couldn't be more ready. So Dogs win the draw, get a shot, and now it's pinned to the boards. A good way to kill some time on the penalty kill. Comes back out, big check out in front, puck skates in the high slot. No damage, though, as the Colonels come the other way. Torrin hand on door, Smith out, and the puck's right in front of him. He'll head to the bench as the puck is thrown in. Dogs are first to it. Good little spin move from Maurer as he gets the Dogs offense going, however, just too far for Santa Maria. Less than a minute remains here in this first period. Colonels coming back the other way. Sticked into the corner. Dogs get possession. We'll see how aggressive they are with the little time left. They'll get one last offensive rush as Casey skates it up. Skates in, shot, turned away. Second shot goes in. Casey threw it short side. Blocker of Cisna able to get the first one. Second one rips the net, and the Dogs now lead 4-0.
Yeah, Casey was the only one who knew that that one went in. None of the fans here did. I didn't see it go in until I saw the reactions of both Cisna and Casey. But like you said, getting a second opportunity there after it went off the blocker of Cisna, and that seems to be where the Dogs have been attacking all game.
Tight window doesn't matter to Casey. As this draw is won, and we'll see if the Colonels try and make it a 3-goal lead. They do. Great glove save by McHugh. Flashes the leather as they tried to beat him towards that far post. For the Casey goal, you don't usually see so many goals squeak in on that near side, especially when they have time to hug the post, but Casey fitted in. He'll be happy with that as the Dogs lead 4-0. Just seconds remaining in the period as Dogs will come down. We'll see if they can get one more shot off and if it's a golden one. Dogs will send it back around the boards, try and get it in the slot. Unable to now, pressuring Cisna, but a good stick ends the period. Zero's on the clock, a 0 for EKU, but a 4 for the Ice Dawgs. Georgia Hockey D3 leads 4-0. I'm Joe Kopsho, joined by Ren Grimsley. We'll see you back for second period action in about 20 minutes. Welcome back to the Georgia Hockey D3 channel. I'm Joe Kopsho, joined by Ren Grimsley. Ren, as we glide in for the second period face-off to start this second period, what do you think of the first? 4-0 lead for the Dogs ain't half bad.
Yeah, it was all Ice Dawgs that first period, which was a little bit unexpected because a lot of the stats were actually in favor of EKU coming into the game, but some very aggressive play by the Dogs and keeping it in their offensive zone, not allowing a whole bunch of shots. And it's been 4-0.
Excellent job by the Dogs in the first period. This is a team without a win yet. And now they're looking for their first of the semester, first of the season. It's obviously a different team as they skate in here. Shot early, finds the mask of Cisna, able to turn it away.
That was Jack Berry just pickpocketing the EKU forward.
Good step around here. But it goes into the wall as Boatwright couldn't control it. Pass into the high slot. Couldn't find the tape. McHugh sticks it away. It'll circle around the boards. Colonels are the first there. They'll see if they can maintain possession here. They're trying to. Another good step around, but puck finds an Ice Dawg. And Smith is able to clear all the way down the ice. We'll see if it's an icing. It should hold up, and it does. So good job by Smith to get his team to the bench as we have the long switch, of course, in the second period and playing outside. So maybe even more important as the ice gets a little watery. And, of course, now the Dogs are scoring on the open half of the ice. Pass into the slot, sticked away. Big check. Dangerous pass, but couldn't find a man. Arm is up for icing, but finds its way to McHugh. He gives it off to Dye as Dye will start the breakout. Pass here in between two players. Good communication as Casey skates onto it. Casey will look to tuck it after faking the inside shot. Unable to cleanly get it off, though, as the Dogs will look to build some offensive zone time by keeping the line. They do. Now big slap shot finds the glove of Cisna and goes right off the tip.
Way out of the ring.
And way out of the ring. I do think Cisna got a part of it, but maybe my eyes deceive me.
I believe you're right, Joe. I think it went off his pad and just there was so much velocity and power behind it that it had nowhere to go but out.
Yeah, I certainly hope that wasn't a clean shot that went out because would have just missed by maybe a mile or two if it was a clean shot. Instead, off Cisna, and we'll have a face-off to his right.
He might have been aiming for a goal over in Oconee County.
Perhaps he saw a rink all the way down that way as the Dogs win the tie-up. Behind the net, big check into Dye as he loses the puck, and it's rimmed around the boards. Unable to keep it in. Maurer gains possession, though, for the Dogs as they start the breakout. Santa Maria skating up ice, high slot, steps around, off the stick, into the goal. Excellent job by Santa Maria, stick, skate, net. As the Dogs now lead 5-0. He had creative skating when he was on D1. That hasn't changed.
And Santa Maria doing his best Connor McDavid impression, splitting the two defenders, making that goalie commit to one side, and then with a nice toe drag all the way across the crease and puts it right in.
Not sure his first move worked out how he wanted it to, but was able to maintain contact with the puck, found his tape, and then off the skate and got past Cisna. So the Dogs now lead 5-0 early in the second period. Colonels will have to shape up if they want any chance to get points in this game. Casey skates down ice 3-on-1. He tries to drop it off, but good defending there as Brigham Younger got a skate on it. Now Younger chases, hip check into the wall. Still Ice Dawgs have it, trying to pound it in through Cisna. It finds the back of the net. And again, despite the puck being live, the refs lose it and blow it dead early.
Yeah, I think part of the reason they're losing it is, like we touched on in the first period, the Dogs are attacking that short side.
It looked like the ref even tapped his chest towards the Ice Dawgs bench saying that one was on me. Might have misread that, but it looks like he realized that puck was still loose, and oftentimes they're going to blow the whistle early rather than later as a quick shot finds Cisna's body and then goes high on the follow-up attempt. They rather blow it early because they don't want the goalies to get hurt. But that's the second time tonight in which the Dogs feel wronged on a call like that. Skating in, high slot, shot, stick, and finally given away. That one found everything but the goal. McHugh comes out far to play it. Dangerous but smart decision as it's sent up the boards and now will be in EKU's end.
And a few calls that haven't really been great for the Ice Dawgs. Luckily, though, it's a 5-0 game and not 1-0 or a much closer game in general that they feel
Pass
like.
high slot. Blockered away by Cisna. Follow-up attempt. Couldn't find the tape. Sorry to cut you off there, Ren. Dogs almost added another. As you mentioned, luckily it's not close, but it could have even been more distant as they had a 6th and 7th goal waved off. EKU tries to clear, but a good body keeps it in the offensive zone, but the Colonels first to it. Now they'll have a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Good defending here and a bad stick by center Celia for EKU as just a bad drop pass gets the Ice Dawgs a rush the other way. Tries to chip it in the height slot, broken up, and tried to clear, but slowly skitters out until now we have a 1-on-1. Skating hard, Dye will be the first to it, causes an errant shot as McHugh is able to keep his save percentage perfect. Now the other way. Rush on rush. Lebrecht dumps it off, Wooten shot, blockered away by the defenseman. Off his thigh and again cleared by EKU. So back and forth here, Ren.
Yeah, EKU had a 3-on-1 there, and I think if Celia had been left-handed instead of right-handed, it would have worked out better because the pass was in front of him. He just couldn't backhand it into the goal.
Yeah, it looked like he got it where he wanted, just had a plan in mind that didn't exactly work out as the Dogs will enter the offensive zone, but turn it over quite quickly. Their forecheck, though, will get possession of the puck, and Dye lets it skitter over his stick. Puck being on edge a lot. Mentioned this game outside Foundry Pavilion, Athens, Georgia. So Ice plays a little bit differently. EKU with some good pressure here behind the net. Haven't been able to get anything out in front as of yet, as this one will go to the half wall. Instead of moving it back up to the point, it finds an Ice Dawg behind the net this time. Clear attempt goes all the way down. Refs will say it touched a Georgia stick. And EKU will look for their breakout. Good pass up the boards. Now a dump in, and we'll see if the Colonels use this to get a change. They'll get a small one off, just 1 for 1. Now a shot into the body of McHugh. Good save. Hasn't been tested often, but when he has, he stood strong.
And EKU's doing a much better job this second period of maintaining zone time and really controlling the puck. We saw a lot in the first period. So maybe some bad passes and some really great Georgia defense that was leading to the Dogs getting their zone time.
Here, a good jump of the pass as skating down a 1-on-0 shootout attempt finds the glove of Cisna, unable to squeeze it, but able to push it away. As Herzig has been good all game, just couldn't finish that one after a great pickoff attempt. Looked like a cornerback in football just jumping the pass, reading the eyes. And now an excellent shift from Herzig again. He gets the puck skating in, tries to get the shot away. Johns will get it, throws it in from the red line, goes through the slot clean, and the puck skied out to the defenseman of the Dogs, Fleming. Andrew Fleming gets it up ice quick. Excellent job to keep this rush going. Now he'll hold the blue line as Johns fights for the puck. Fleming unable to keep it in. Now a 3-on-1. Shot off the post, goes in to the ceiling. 2 loud metal pings means McHugh is still alive with that 5-0 lead.
Yeah, props to McHugh. He's been staying big in that crease. And that was a very loud shot that hit off the post. But if you're McHugh, staying perfect on the day so far.
And often when you do well, your posts reward you as a goalie. That situation there, it goes off that top left where the crossbar and post meet and up into the ceiling. Now Dogs the other way. Errant pass, but they'll keep skating hard. And Ren, we of course do the D1 games for the Ice Dawgs, and it seems like there's just a different energy. You can see the D1 Ice Dawgs turn this on at times, but often they like to play smooth and methodical and dip into that energy bank when they need it. Right now, these D3 Georgia hockey looking for all that energy.
It's been all energy, all grit, and all speed.
As EKU comes the other way, shot blocked, tipped out in front, and then McHugh is able to push it away. Fans looking for a call as two players go down, one on each side. Big hit here on the side from Nitko onto an Ice Dawg as he'll skate off after. He lost his twig. Now a tuck here and scored. A 1-on-2 plus the goalie. Case Santa Maria doesn't exactly care as Cisna came out and he snuck it behind his leg for the 6th goal of the game for the Ice Dawgs. That's an opportunity where you don't expect to score that often, Ren.
Yeah, that was just a really great hustle play by Case Santa Maria. Like you said, 2-on-1. Could have been a very easy pass for the Colonels to get it out. But Case Santa Maria just took it from the guy, and again, another short-sided shot that snuck past Cisna.
Excellent job there as you see the replay by Santa Maria. Dogs win the faceoff, come back in quickly. A pass to the high slot goes untouched. And now, I think if you're EKU, Ren, this game is all but over, but you're just looking to put a 1 on the board instead of a goose egg.
Absolutely.
As there's a car on the open side of the ice, as the Dogs maintain offensive zone, just kind of backing towards the rink there. Big hit. Uplifted the Ice Dawg as now he's taken into the boards. It's number 25, Drew Lannon, who we believe had a goal earlier in the game. This shot goes off a defender. Dogs will retain possession. Lannon tries to shoot a pass, but he'll have to chase after it himself and gets taken in the boards again. And now there'll be a race to the puck. McHugh will be first to it as goalie. He does the smart thing and just covers.
And the Ice Dawgs right now are not looking like an 0-4 team. And I don't think it's because of an inferior opponent, as the Colonels come in with a winning record. I think the Ice Dawgs have just tapped into some energy or made some sort of deal that's allowing them to just really dominate this game.
Deal with the devil, perhaps. Deal with the dog. As faceoff is won by EKU. The shot they took goes wide. Now this pass out in front goes off the pad of McHugh. His defense comes in to help him out and is able to get possession after a little scrum. Trying to break the blue line are the Dogs, and they're able to. Connor Lebrecht skating hard, first to the puck. Good stick check by him. The offensive player passing the slot just missed. As it looks like Smith might have got his stick lifted by the goalie. Good job there by Cisna. Lebrecht and Smith played together all their lives. Looked like it there. Smith now fighting for the puck. Pass in the slot. Shot scored! What an excellent pass, and all they had to do was clean up as Barry buries it for the 7th goal of the game. Excellent skating from that entire line. Excellent job to extend the lead one more.
And that was an assist by Torrin Smith. I think his back was turned towards the goal, so I don't even know if he knew anybody was there waiting at the crease. Just flicked it behind him, and luckily Barry was there waiting. And like you said, Barry buried it.
There has been a lot of good skating all night from this D3 Georgia team. That might have been the best, as Lebrecht had a pass in the slot that just missed. And then there, Smith with a pass in the slot, and Barry positioned himself perfectly. That was just pretty as EKU tries to get a shot away on McHugh. It's bouncing out in front and in the high slot. Now the Dogs will come the other way. 3-on-2 opportunity quickly forms to a 3-on-3. Cut towards the middle. Cisna gets out of position, but an Ice Dawg goes down. No tripping on the play, as it was Casey looking to lead the offense. Johns will keep it in for the Dogs, but it's eventually sticked out. Aiden Lynn all alone will turn it over as he tried to make something happen on the 1-on-3. Instead, back the other way as Herzig creative skating again. Unable to get the drop pass. However, the Dogs pick it up, and that's certainly a trip. Goes uncalled as Wooten goes into the boards. Guy tries to send one in. Good turnaround by Wooten as he tried to redirect it. Did an excellent job, but missed by a foot or so. Dogs keep it in again. Excellent skating. They'll go for their change, and they won't need it as that puck finds the back of the net. Excellent shot and another goal for the Dogs, as it looks like Schwanekamp is able to get it on his tape and fire it in with the wrister.
And the Dogs now are just playing with nothing to lose. They know they can send a few shots to the goal. If it doesn't go in, so be it. And if they give up a goal, it's still 8-1.
So these Dogs have come out hot to begin their semester. Couldn't be much colder weather in Georgia, but these Dogs dripping in sweat with their excellent play, and of course being as hot as they are. This one goes in on Cisna. He decides not to cover. Dangerous decision as Maurer was chasing. He takes his man into the boards, but Colonels will be able to clear. The stretch pass doesn't reach the intended target, and icing is waved off, so the Dogs will have to hurry back down. Good job from the Colonels here to try and get possession. But now the Dogs will come the other way as that dumping goes deep. No icing on the play as Santa Maria is the first to it as he intercepts the pass. He'll get it behind the net, tries to chase it as this one's now thrown to the half wall. EKU looks to get it out. They'll be successful as they skate it into center ice. Now in the offensive zone. Looking to do some damage for the first time, but unable to hold the line. Quick chasing here from the Ice Dawgs causes a turnover on the forecheck. Santa Maria skating in. Drop pass, scored. Oh, just goes wide. As Santa Maria did an excellent job. Looked like that one would find the back of the net. Instead, just missing. Big hit in center ice as the puck goes all the way down to the Georgia end. Now big hit in the boards.
I thought for sure that'd be some call on Madison there, but the refs maintaining their first period leniency.
Yeah, we've mentioned all game letting these gentlemen play. And again, another man crashing the boards. Another man stood up as Ringwald got the worst of that one. Dogs will get possession of the puck. This has been the offensive zone time EKU has wanted. Will it turn into something? Cecilia skating in, pretty skating. McHugh saves the first one, can't save the second one. As the Colonels will put the first one on the board for them with some creative skating by Celia as he dropped it off to it looked like Aiden Lynn.
Yeah, beautiful skating. He was heading towards the left post and just cut right back in, maintaining it. That was like you said, the offensive zone time that they've been looking for.
Might have actually been Philip Maxwell, 1-7 instead of 7. There's a lot of action out in front. Of course, after the game, if you want to see the exact point scorers, go on to AAU College Hockey website. Go to D3 Scores, you'll be able to see it. Shot here from Georgia, another shot. Cisna turns both away. Excellent job by him. He's had some trouble on the follow-ups, but was able to do it there, and we'll have a whistle, and now we're going to have a fight in center ice. Big hands being thrown. That was a punch. Now men on the ice. That should end it, although trying to get back up is Nyko. He's throwing punches while a man's on the ice. That's not exactly sportsmanship.
This is what people come to hockey games to see.
And I think Ethan Cross, who started the tie-up, was even a little frustrated with Nitko. So it was between Cross and someone else, an Ice Dog player.
And I believe Drew Lannon drew a penalty over in the boards.
Yeah, that hit came from that hit on Lannon. Or, excuse me, the fight came from the hit on Lannon. Some exception, and then it looked like Cross had got his stick up into the midsection of an Ice Dog, and things got out of control from there.
This will be a nice mess for the refs to figure out.
So we apologize. A little more technical issues. There was the scoreboard saying 7-1. It is 8-1.
And you mentioned the ice conditions earlier. It's actually one of the colder nights we've had here in Athens. As back in December, as you know, and maybe some people watching know, we had a couple of games canceled due to beautiful weather and it being too hot out. The ice was just a little too watery for them to be playing.
Yes, the D3 Dogs were supposed to play. Their game got canceled after a storm and unable to clean up the ice after it had been thoroughly used the day before from the women's team here at Georgia and, of course, the D1 team. So this is a large discussion happening between the refs now and pretty much just the Georgia bench.
If you'll recall that D3 game, they were playing Alabama. I believe there was the D1 team playing Alabama here the day after that SEC championship game we won't talk about.
So Ringwald will go to the box for Georgia. He was a part of that first fight. I think it was him and Cross. Again, these numbers could be incorrect. These names could be incorrect. But I think he was a part of that original, and he was the man that fell the ice pretty quickly. So interesting to see him get the heave into the sin bin. I would expect 2 players from the Colonels here. One for the original hit on the boards, and of course one for the fighting.
The Colonels only have 3 players out on the ice right now over in their zone. And obviously their goalie. But I think they seem to think that they're going to be 2-man down. As the Dogs will be at least 1 in the box, but still could be on the power play depending on how many go in the box for the Colonels.
So Philip Maxfield has entered the box. That was the man that laid the original hit, As still in the box, it looks like Ringwald is pleading the case to his own bench. And that doesn't seem right if Maxfield's the only one in the box unless there was a ejection of Nitko. But that would seem too dramatic.
And it will be 4-on-4 here, the referee is announcing. So a little bit more space for the Dogs to operate in their offensive zone.
Interesting. We'll keep an eye out for Nitko. I don't see him on the bench and, of course, not in the box. As this shot finds its way to Cisna, still pounding are the Dogs. It goes an inch wide, skittering off the post. As the Colonels will look to clear. Good forecheck. Now past Johns out in front. Tries to stuff it. Does so on the second attempt as Cisna's way out of position. Johns will bow to the crowd, and I'm sure the smooth-talking Johns may say something to EKU on the way by as the captain puts it in. He remains pretty calm. I think he's happy enough with the celebration.
He looks calm for sure. And he had all day in that crease to just keep knocking it around and get it across the crease. The goalie, Cisna, trying to make some pad saves, but just couldn't overcome.
I think Cisna made 2 pad saves there, and at that point it has to be on your defenders to come help you out. You're way out of position, extending your leg as far as you can, and when no one comes to help, there's not much you can do. McHugh comes out to play this one, sends it into the near side of the boards where the Colonels will get to it first. Good defense here. No call as both men go crashing down. Great defense from Schwanekamp. Colonels out in front, shot goes wide. Best opportunity of the night, and it eventually finds its way in. Better opportunity than the goal, leaded to a missed shot, but the ricochet adds the second to the board as it's now a 9-2 game.
And that was Boat right there, just confusing McHugh, I think, who didn't quite know where the puck was and managed to get one in. Still, though, the Dogs should feel pretty confident with a 7-goal lead, I think.
Yeah, Boatwright with the original pass to Cilia, his center, who glides in, and then Cilia just missed wide on a completely open net, but Boatwright able to pick up the puck. Now tries to step around. Good skate there by, it looks like, Wooten. Now Santa Maria tries his own step around, this time a good stick from the defenseman, number 19. EKU gets possession. Good forecheck here. As there is a huge scrum between Nick Chad and the defender he took to the wall. Colonels will come out with it. Flies one over to the other side. Now back to the right wing as Cilia looks to do something with it. Instead broken up. Santa Maria now with clean possession. It'll be a 2-on-2 quickly developing into a 3-on-2. Chad will make many moves and then just try and stuff it. Unable to, as it's now behind the net. Chad with one too many moves. This shot by Chad also blockered away as a good pass in the high slot. Doesn't develop. Dogs will dump it back in, get their change. And Chad will remain out there chasing. Kept in by the Dogs, now skating in, high slot. Looking for the shot, goes through, but blocker saved by Cisna. Back to the point with Dye. Dye will keep it as Chad goes off. Maurer now receiving it in the middle. Tries to chip it around, does the Colonel of the changing man, Pacheco, but he keeps it in. Back to Maurer at the point. He'll look to walk down. Does so successfully. Now goes behind the net. Tries to dump it out in front. Out in front. No one can find it. It's right in front of Cisna. No one can get a stick, and eventually a Colonel is able to get it and chip it out.
I'm surprised the refs didn't call that one dead.
An opportunity there where the big defenseman for the Colonels, Brigham Younger, was just standing over it, hoping another defenseman would come help him out. Big check here by Younger. He lays out a man. A shot goes off the post and out of play. Good shot there, but just a little wide as the post chips it up. And like you said earlier, maybe into a Coney County.
And the Ice Dogs still fighting in that crease. I thought K. Santa Maria made an interesting move behind the goal when usually the defenders don't come around the goal to try and make them make a move. But they did, and K. Santa Maria found Chad open in the crease. Couldn't quite knock it in, though.
Chad with a couple opportunities. He's sniffing a goal. We'll see if he can find it later as the Colonels win this face-off and dump it into center ice. D-to-D pass here for the Dogs as they look to start their breakout. Aggressive pass up the boards, and now they'll fully get into their offense with Casey leading. Back to the point. Herzig sends it over to his partner on the other side. That looks like Santa Maria, whose shot went off the blockers of Cisna. Maria picks it up again, and Santa Maria skates in. Cisna has no idea where it is, but is able to get enough on it to turn it away. Shawnekamp fighting out in front. He's got the big man, Michael Malloy, on him. Malloy stands about 6 inches taller than maybe any other men for the Ice Dogs. Casey now receives the puck. He'll move it back down. Now high slot, other side. Passing the slot. Shawnekamp fighting out in front. He scores. Shawnekamp positioned himself perfectly as the screen, instead given an opportunity with the puck, and he doesn't miss.
And I think he just had a little bit of a backhand action on that. Just going right through the pads of Cisna.
So here's an interesting development, Ren. I believe this outside scoreboard is only made for 1 digit. Now there it goes. It can hold 2 digits. As you see Shawnekamp tuck it behind him right there.
Let's hope we don't go to 3 digits.
Our personal scoreboard barely goes to 2 digits. I don't know what I just said. It's been a long night. But our personal scoreboard here on the stream barely fits. As it looks like the refs are going to have a discussion. And now that discussion is going to involve Eastern Kentucky.
I think there's confusion about the number of guys that are on the ice. As head coach Cole Jacobs of the Ice Dogs holding up a big 5 on his hand.
So there is going to be a penalty on Eastern Kentucky. So a delayed penalty, but because of the score, new rule, that penalty stays. And because of that, Cole Jacobs will take off all his men and put on that power play unit. So it will be an Ice Dogs power play here. With an 8-goal lead, they'll look to add on. It's funny because it's gotten almost hard to tell as a shot here is turned away by McHugh. It's almost gotten hard to tell when the D3 team here of Georgia scores because the celebrations have come kind of lackluster at this point as they've added 10.
Yeah, it almost becomes not fun to
Stolen
celebrate.
pass shot here from the Colonels. And it's turned away by McHugh. He gets stick taps as his defender turned it over right in front of him. Sorry, Ren. I know we both didn't expect that as an Ice Dog is tripped up.
Not at all.
Don't see that too often, but a turnover puck right in front of their own goalie. Maurer, creative skating, able to get in the slot. He's laid out. Puck still in the slot, bouncing around. As that slot has had a lot of action, Ren. There is just a buildup of snow in the Colonel's slot right in front of Cisna.
Absolutely. Looking at that crease compared to the Ice Dogs crease with McHugh in it, quite a difference in the quality of the ice.
Shot here goes over the head of Cisna. He throws the glove up there and is able to bring it in.
And a pretty good save by Cisna there. A nice glove save going over his head. I don't know if it would have been on goal, but it eliminates a chance for an Ice Dogs to get some sort of rebound.
Exactly right. Those stanchions can always be weird behind the net, so good job by the Colonels and their goalie to keep everything in their own hands. Less than 2 minutes now remain in the period. Dogs with a big lead. They're looking to build on it on the power play. Unable to get any clear shots away here as the Colonels hound them at the blue line. Instead, Casey will skate in. He'll keep the puck on his stick and do a whole move around the world before dumping it off. Now pass behind the net, looking out in front. Good pass, but just couldn't find any Ice Dogs player stick or Colonel's body to throw it in the net. Pass to Smith as Lebrec and Smith look to give and go. Lebrec only able to throw it in the corner. He tries to throw it out in front, but good defense there from Nick Rentilla. However, unable to get out, it's bouncing out in front. Colonels do pick it up, and they'll have a bit of a rush here. The power play for the Dogs has ended. Huge hit by Smith as Brennan Scheffel did not even look for the puck after he got hit. He said, I need some time on the bench after that one. Dye walks in. With less than a minute remaining, the Colonels will beat out the icing. Good penalty kill by them. Can they build off the momentum before we go to intermission? Consistent offensive zone time.
That hit on Scheffel is one that you're glad to not be a part of.
Good clean hit. As this shot unable to get away as it did not catch the big part of the twig, and now the Ice Dogs will come the other way. It's about 20 seconds left. Colonels now come back, and as time ticks down, they'll fire one on McHugh. It pops in the air, and he's able to control it on its way down to give a face-off to his right, as this will likely be the last one of the period unless we see a quick shot that McHugh is able to get in front of. Face-off is won by the Colonel. Shot goes off the pads of McHugh. Tried to lift it, couldn't get it in the air. As the time reaches 0, the shot goes wide, and that'll be the end of the period. So Dogs add on 6 more. However, Colonels also add 2. Score is 10-2. For Ren Grimsley, I'm Joe Kopsho. We headed into intermission. We hope to see you for the last 20 minutes shortly. Welcome back to the Classic Center Foundry Pavilion here in Athens, Georgia, and of course to the Georgia Hockey D3 YouTube channel. Ren Grimsley joining me, Joe Kopsho. Ren, interesting second period. Colonels get on the board, but outpaced by the Dogs.
Yeah, some teams don't know how to play with the lead, and I think it's the first time the Ice Dawgs have really had a lead this season, so good to see them maintain control, maintain swagger, and just keep putting some goals up on the board.
Yeah, they had a close game with Kennesaw State as in offsides, as Fleming tried to fire it in but hit his own man. They had a close game with Kennesaw State, I believe, that might have even gone to overtime. No wins yet. 0-4, 0-3-1, whatever it may be. They're looking to put a 1 in that first column. Huge hit. As True Lannon took all of that one. He's been on the receiving end of a couple. Has played an excellent game. Shot turned away out in front by a defender's kneecap. Shot here from the red line finds its way into assist. I'm not too sure how he was able to glove that one down, but looked like it hit him in the upper part of the body and fell in.
And one thing I'm interested about in this third period is how is EKU going to respond? Obviously down 8 goals. I don't think they feel like they can come back in this, but everybody's got to be playing on a short bench, so see how much motivation they have to carry through.
A short bench only made shorter by the ejection, of course, following the fight. There was no official announcement, but through talking in the arena as there was an offsides there, it seems like that Joey Nitko left and has not returned, so he perhaps got an early shower.
Sure, he's now nice and warm somewhere.
Yeah, that would be nice at some point, to be nice and warm. I'm having a fun time, so I'm nice. I just wouldn't say I'm warm. Very cold out here. Probably the coldest day maybe this winter in Georgia. And Smith chases the puck. Good D-to-D pass as he found Fleming, although I guess not D-to-D, as Smith, the forward. He gets up ice. Big hit in center ice, gets cheers from everyone, and now we'll get a whistle as I believe Casey went a little too hard. Maybe gotten out in front.
The refs might, at this point, just be trying to make sure no one gets hurt. Make sure no one's going too hard. No one's going to the box, though, so that's good.
No, too hard as in hitting with the body and then losing the puck because it caused an offside situation where he was focused on defending and hitting. His shot finds its way to McHugh, but he pads it aside. And aggressive play to jump on this one. A stick is under his armpit, and then a fight happening on the back end as Herzig takes his man to the ground. Herzig will plead his case that the Colonel is not giving him his stick, as it is Lynn that ended up on the ground. So chippy game, just made a little bit chippier. They're going to keep everyone on the ice, it looks like, except Lynn, who they'll send to the box. We'll see if Herzig follows. Wouldn't be too surprising.
Sometimes that'll happen with teams that get down a lot. They'll try and overcompensate on the aggressiveness and sometimes get a little too aggressive, as that was the case for Lynn.
Looked like he just was holding Herzig's stick, and Herzig took exception to that. I don't think any punches were thrown, nor really a fight occurred, because I don't know about you, Ren. I would say punches have to be thrown for a fight.
That's a big component of fighting, I would say.
Otherwise, we're kind of just being silly if we just push each other around. So it will be a power play for the Dogs, as they'll say Lynn was holding Herzig's stick, and doesn't look like they'll send him to the box for maybe a little retaliation. I probably would have expected both men, but...
And I just checked. It is 38 degrees here in Athens, which is probably about the coldest it's been, which to some Kentucky fans who might be listening, some Eastern Kentucky fans who might be listening, that's nothing.
It is interesting being near the rink, though, as another man is going to enter the box for Eastern Kentucky. It's Brennan Scheffel. Of course, he took the big hit earlier this game. And that would allude to some 5-on-3. And I wish the ref would sometimes face us and give a signal one time.
I don't think the ref likes us very much.
I'm not sure the ref is aware of our existence. So power play for the Dogs. It will be a 5-on-4. Just 2 men in the box. So the Dogs will look to take advantage. Casey passes it over. John's back to Casey. Good movement. Casey shot, sticked, and into the glove of Cisna. It fell back out, but another early whistle. That one I would tend to agree with, as it looks like the ref is also adjusting the goalpost. So perhaps a little of both.
Two common themes of the night: early dead calls and goals coming off the post.
Dogs win the draw. They'll be on, of course, the power play for about another 100 seconds. Good movement here behind the red line of the goalie. Now back to the half wall, drifting up to the blue line. Back down, cycle. Dogs will send it around the boards. Santa Maria will be the first to it. He'll send it up to the point. It gets stuck on the wall, though. Now a little bit more dirty. Santa Maria with a big slap shot as he drifted into the high slot. Now Casey gets possession. He keeps the line. Tries to pass it in deep. It'll go off the wall. Finds Santa Maria. He's hounded by 2 men. Bunch of sticks on it, but no clear shot gets away. Now slow movement of the puck. Looking for an opportunity. Big slap shot blocked out in front by an EKU stick. Now back to Casey. Casey, another big shot. This one blockered away by the goalie, and it'll go all the way down, as Cisna is given a little bit of a breather, as the Dogs will have to regroup on the power play. Good pass here as they get it up ice. Schwannekamp tries to drop it off. It gets sticked away, but Casey is able to enter the zone. Colonels gain possession. They try and cherry pick as there's a forward all alone, but it just couldn't find his tape. Interesting to cherry pick on the power play, but it almost worked. Now the Dogs will skate it back in, and this energy we saw early on has kind of dissipated.
Naturally so, being up 8 goals with only about 16 minutes left.
As the power play ends, I would tend to agree, Ren, that would be the reason why. As this one will scuttle into McHugh, and he'll cover.
And I should know McHugh's been loving this game. Obviously, he's let a few in that, he maybe thinks he probably shouldn't have let in. But still, especially in that first period, he was not challenged at all. And still has only taken a few challenges, and it's been a pretty easy day for the man between the posts.
And when he has been challenged, he's done excellent. Want to give a thanks to the D3 sponsors. You've likely seen them scrolling on the ad wheel, and of course during intermissions. Body Armor, as the Dogs win this draw, and of course Outback, not the restaurant, the sports and materials. So thank you to both of them, as they've supported this team immensely. Dogs look to break out. And maybe here's a chance for the Dogs, the first time all season where on ice with true opponents, as that was an errant pass and a turnover. Dogs get it back quickly, though, as this is the first chance maybe when they can have opponents and try something new. Big lead, that's usually a chance to try something, as that one finds its way to Cisna now in the slot. Eventually a defender gets there and turns it away. Can experiment a little bit with a lead like this, one they've not had all season. Couldn't hold the line, and a good job by Wooten to get back and turn it away. Big check right in front of us as Hertzlicka goes into the boards. Good forecheck here from Lebrecq. He causes a turnover, passes it to his man out in front, who's unable to get a shot away as Pacheco had to take it down low. New line out as Maurer receives the puck. He goes cross ice. A little bit of a scary pass as it almost broke the blue line, so Price had to be careful with it. Dogs will exit their zone.
The Dogs are in no rush to make any sort of move. They're just kind of letting the time tick by.
Under 15 minutes left. As Looked like Fleming didn't know that his men hadn't touched up, or maybe did and just wanted the big shot on net. Celia some creative skating, but it gets broken up. Good saucer pass over. Wrist shot sticked away by Pacheco, now covered by McHugh. That's an excellent save. An excellent aggression to fall on it.
Yeah, and it hit off the hands of where Pacheco, it hit off where Pacheco puts his hands on the stick on that big shot by number 39, Weatherspoon. That's what the Dogs have sort of been doing recently, is letting their defensemen just sling it right towards the goal and hoping they get a good bounce or a good tip in.
EKU tried it, not with the same success. That's a good step around here from Drew Lampman. He threw it all the way down the ice and was able to beat out icing. Pass on the half wall. Bodies flying. There'll be a tie-up right at that red line. Eventually won by the Dogs. Tried to fire over, but just misses. Good job to glove it down by Casey and give his team a chance after losing the puck. Skating in deep are the Dogs, looking for an opportunity to add an 11th. Haven't gotten a clean shot away in a bit. And a bit for the Dogs in this game, maybe 60 seconds. So this one goes past Dye and will go all the way down. McHugh can't play it. He will decide to come out late instead. Interesting decision. As this shot scored, a little wrister finds the back of the net. That's the main goal scorer for these Eastern Kentucky Colonels, Logan Boatwright.
Yeah, he came into the game with the most goals on the team, and he's had a couple today. That one was just a really good shot, a heater that went over the shoulders of McHugh.
And it, of course, came on a delayed penalty to Dye as he had to skate back hard and took his man into the boards, trying to protect his goalie, McHugh. But it will be 10-3 nevertheless. And now EKU gets a chance to go on the power play. So this game is not over yet. Shrink the lead by one and a really good chance to do it again. In-house scoreboard operator hasn't changed it to 10-3. However, Ren, I'm pretty sure that's the score after that wrister by Boatwright.
I would agree with you, Joe.
I'm often more wrong than I am right.
Well, we can be wrong together, I guess.
It's a rare occurrence for me to be right. As the Colonels skate in. Pass into the slot, a good one, but a good stick by the defenseman of the Dogs to keep it alive. The shot fired wide as the Colonels were looking for a tip out in front. They keep the line. Now we'll dump it in deep. Looking to cycle, throws it out in front, backhand. Almost a half spin toss at the net by Scheffel, but it didn't find its way through. Now this one will find its way through to where McHugh had to kick it off with his blocker.
And this is the kind of possession EKU couldn't get in the first period. That probably would have worn out some of the Ice Dogs defenders and maybe gotten a goal, but they just could not maintain zone time.
A good power play turns into a shorthand rush by Lebrecq for the Dogs. He gets tangled up by two men. However, he's going to be able to kill plenty of time here and still get something towards the net. Great job there as the Colonels sold out to stop him with everything they could. This one finds its way to McHugh. It looks like it got stuck under his leg to where he had to pop it out. So a good start to the power play. Dogs had maybe the best chance of it, though, yet on the penalty kill. Good forecheck here from EKU. But Casey will get it out. It's quickly chipped back in, but offsides. The Colonels have to touch up. About 20 seconds remain in their power play. Dogs are able to clear. They'll re-enter the zone, and they will be offside.
And that was tough for EKU now, as they're going to have to set up outside of their zone. And the Dogs have been very dominant on the face-off today. Yeah,
that probably was EKU's true last rush. It was probably their last opportunity, at least of the power play, I mean, as there's about 10 seconds left of it. Again, we're just guessing, guesstimating.
We're close.
We're close. That's all that matters. Horseshoes, hand grenades, and guessing penalty clocks. Pass fired out as Dye does leave the box, so even strength. Dye will come in and actually play defense until he can get off. Now he's looking to get the offense going. He'll be the first to this puck as it's skated down. He beats out the defender, Junger, but is unable to finish the job as it gets sent back down all the way. As the ref jumps over the puck and Johns tips it in. Smith chasing. He'll be the first to it, sends it back up to the point to Fleming. Fleming wrister turned wide, might have missed. Good competitive shot, just a little off as the Dogs will skate back again with Hertzlichta leading the breakout, giving it to Johns. Back to the winger, and that's going to be offside. Just off the stick. And unable to keep it out in front of him was, I believe, Schwanekamp, causing the offside.
We've seen more offside calls this period than we have the entire game.
And I think we're seeing a timeout here, which is interesting. I didn't think we would see one with 10 minutes left, although this could possibly be discussing changing sides. So, of course, with everyone outside, this looks like a true timeout, but with everyone outside here at the Foundry Pavilion, usually teams in the third period will switch sides to keep it kind of even in who has to play in the open half that you can just see on the right side of your screen.
Part of that energy that we were talking about earlier and the lack thereof this third period could be that most of the fans here have left by now, as it's incredibly cold here.
Yeah, it's become cold, and a Wednesday night in Athens can be plenty busy at some places, and of course, this game perhaps deemed a little out of hand for the Colonels. Although I'm sure Cole Jacobs, head coach of this Georgia hockey D3 team, is saying you can't exactly let up off the gas. Skating around the net, big body goes into the board as Philip Maxfield lost it. Now Dogs chance, and a whistle blown late for offsides. And now it looks like Johns, who mentioned earlier might be a bit of a talker as the captain, maybe got Celia a little upset, and I think Johns will go to the box. I even think they point at Cecilia. Again, I apologize if that name is not pronounced correctly.
And John's usually with a bunch of composure, but you're showing some emotion right there.
John's a bunch of composure as captain, and then maybe a little extra when he gets on the ice.
So that was actually both captains of both teams, and they're still going at it in the box, still talking to each other.
And it looks like the men from the box earlier is still in there, so that might have been serving a 10-minute, and now they're still talking. My favorite moment of John's is, of course, played for the D1 team. That's part of the reason he got the captain nod, very experienced, had experience in the playoffs against Florida Atlantic D2 team, having a great season, ranked top 10, the number one ranked D2 team. They had beat up on the Ice Dawgs 2 times in the regular season last year. Johns came in for the playoffs, laid out an FAU player in middle ice, and as he swung by, patted him on the head and said, "Good job."
All-time great moment there for Johns. I wouldn't let anyone forget that.
It was an excellent game, and that's, I would honestly say, why he's captain. It's maybe not something as a head coach you encourage your player to do, but when you had lost to this team 2 times earlier, you wanted to make a deep run in the playoffs. That's certainly one way to send a message, and the message went through as the Dogs would end up winning that game. So the refs had discussions with just about everyone, and they've decided that the face-off will come into the Georgia zone.
There was a lot of talking there between Ice Dawgs players and Colonel players. Might have been some new friendships formed there.
So I think the Colonels here are going to have a 5-on-4. And the Colonels were requesting it, and now the refs will say no. That's about right when 2 players get sent off. There was the in-arena announcement. I didn't hear it too clearly, though. So not too sure what it was for when we got our headsets on, but calls were made, and the in-arena announcer thought we were ready. I would have agreed with them, but the refs are still discussing. Okay, now they're going to let the Colonels have a player out. So this will be a 5-on-4. So there will be a power play and a penalty kill here. And, of course, it'll be EKU on the power play and Georgia on the penalty kill.
And this might be the first time I've ever seen a team have more guys in the box yet be on the power play.
Good job by McHugh to jump on the puck. As mentioned, and now we're going to have another man into the box. It looks like the ref all the way behind the play here at the half line called a penalty. Interesting to see that, and it's going to be an Ice Dawg.
We went 2.5 periods with very few guys going into the box, and now everybody's going into the box.
So Joshua Madison will sit down for a while. And now we're even in the box. Not even on the ice, though. A 5-on-3 for the Colonels. This is when you want to get into the game. Georgia wins the face-off, important to that kill. And now a missed pass by the Colonels. Excellent job here to just kill off some time. Herzig did the smart thing and brought the puck all the way back and then fired it back down again. Smart penalty kill, and now Georgia will get the puck again and fire it all the way down. This is not how you want to start a 5-on-3 power play.
Definitely suboptimal for the Colonels.
Shot goes wide. McHugh reached out but couldn't get it with the extended arm. Now looking to draw up a cross-ice pass. The Colonels fail, and now a good check here. Good stick check, and Herzig will have a chance on the other side. He just looks to kill some time. He knows it's important to get back. Smart play, and through the first 55 or so seconds of this power play, EKU has gotten nothing. It's not what you want at all, of course, with any power play, but especially not a 5-on-3 when you're down 7.
I think they reverted back to their first period selves where they just could not maintain the puck in the zone.
Stick lift here as the shot occurred, caused the puck to go out of the rink, and the Eastern Kentucky player, it looks like Ethan Cross looked up at the lack of ceiling and questioned why. I'm assuming he's not looking up at the moon and stars asking why, but you never know. Might be looking for some ethereal help here as they're down 7. It's always an honor to play outside, especially when you're in a state like Georgia, but Ren, there's definitely some of those reactions when the ice can get a little bit messy and some pucks can go out of play.
Absolutely.
Georgia 2-on-1 break while they're on the 5-on-3. Pass just misses. Looks like Maurer tried to lay one out for him and couldn't. So this will be the last rush on the 5-on-3, but the Colonels do have to hurry. Then it'll be a 5-on-4.
Another thing about playing out here is that the lighting on this half that they're currently in is a little weird. Probably serves as a home ice advantage for the Dogs as they're a little used to it.
Yeah, and we didn't switch sides. So 5-on-3 ends as this puck finds its way to McHugh, and it's tucked in. And I'm sure McHugh is going to ask why he didn't get the favor of a whistle, but after the penalty ends, the Colonels are able to score. So Johns is still in the box. But, of course, the 5-on-3 ended. And I think John's got a 5-minute major.
He seems very comfortable in there, helmet off and everything.
Exactly what I was going to say. He doesn't look like he plans on coming out anytime soon. So 5-minute major for Johns, which means EKU will still be on the power play. I've just guesstimated their time on the 5-on-4, so we'll see how long it lasts. But EKU closing in. This period, they're +2 goal differential. If they can dig deep on this power play, they have an opportunity as this puck is fired into the Colonel's bench. There'll be some talking back and forth. None of it malicious as Wooten just tried to throw one in deep and have a couple Colonels duck.
I think he was just making sure they were still paying attention.
Little wake-up shot there as we approach 10 p.m. Probably better than espresso, I would say, Ren.
Oh, a little adrenaline, nothing like it.
Nothing like almost a hospital run to wake you up a little bit. Luckily tonight, we haven't had any pucks come over here. When we were calling the D1 game back in December with the Ice Dawgs versus Oklahoma State, it got a little sketchy. This puck finds its way all the way into Cisna, and now there's a tie-up. So interesting, while I was trying to be my comedic self instead of calling the game, there was a 2-on-1 in which Cisna saved the first shot and was able to splat out and save the second one. The goalpost came off, so I wasn't, again, too sure if it had found the way into the back of the net as we lost the puck from here.
And Nick Rentala of the Colonels going to the penalty box as well.
So that ends the power play for the Colonels, and it'll go to a 4-on-4. Casey was talking to the ref, trying to figure out the situation, and then just waved him off. So 4-on-4 hockey, a lot more open passing lanes, and a good chance for both teams. Boatwright skating with it, gets ahead of his defender, good pass, shot. What a goal as Boatwright assists Cecilia.
I'm not feeling too comfortable with this 5-goal lead all of a sudden. As they've scored 3 this period and 2 within the last minute.
And we apologize for the lack of knowing it. I thought almost McHugh made a great save because I think Boatwright and Cecilia don't like losing too much because there was no celebration from them. Dogs win the faceoff, will skate in, and a good cover by Cisna.
Now the Dogs don't need to try and do too much to try and get a goal back and end whatever momentum Eastern Kentucky, is picking up, because that might be detrimental to them.
This is my first time calling play-by-play in this area besides the women's game earlier. Of course, Georgia women's growing the game of hockey. And that scenario, Ren, we had fogged up boards in which we couldn't see anything. As this shot here doesn't find its way to Cisna, instead kicks off behind him. I did not think it'd be so hard to see a puck from an angle like this as we're just peering over the walls.
Yeah, and that fog was there in the Oklahoma State game, too, when the pucks were flying.
Shot finds its way to Cisna. He's able to turn it away. Dogs regain, pass in the slot. As it looks like someone got cross-checked from behind. They'll complain for a call while still on the ice. Now a tear between two players. A Colonel goes down and an Ice Dawg goes down, and it looks like there is a penalty.
That's Hertzig, who seems a little shaken up. He got cross-checked right in front of the goal there, but I thought he was going off, but seems to be okay now.
So I could have sworn a penalty was signaled, but I suppose not, as no new players are in the box. I don't think, Ren.
I don't believe so. I believe that's still Johns in there.
So 4-on-4. Maybe that's not Johns, as
I don't think so.
That wouldn't allude to a 4-on-4. This shot turned away. I can't wait to see the recap on AAU college hockey to look at all these penalties. As Dial throw it in deep. Looks like Maurer chasing. He can't get possession. Wooten blows a tire. It was Johns. So Johns is back out on the ice. We'll see how aggressive he gets. He causes a pass to go wild. And Dogs win possession, and they'll fire it down. This will be icing, but it finds its way to Cisna. EKU loses possession, and the Dogs will look to draw something up. So the man does leave the box for the Colonel, so now they'll have a power play for a short amount of time. A dangerous play by Wooten, but a smart one. Wouldn't be called a smart play if it went the other way. And now EKU on the rush, 2-on-2. Boatwright, most creative skater. He'll fire one in. Not a bad shot, but turned away by McHugh. Boatwright had that great assist to Celia as this one's fired all the way down. And since they're on the penalty kill, no icing, and the Colonels will have to regroup.
And the Colonels there were doing really well, scoring twice within a minute, but now they're running a little low on time if they want to mount a comeback here.
This is the line that they've been doing it with, Boatwright and Celia, but this one's fired all the way back down again. Dogs actually get possession of it. They're still on the penalty kill, so they'll be safe with it here, looking to get offensive zone time and then making the move out of the zone. Nick Chad, an excellent job to kill off more time. The Ice Dog leaves the box, so we're back to even as time dwindles in this one. McHugh, it's thrown in on him, and he mishandles it, but is eventually able to cover.
And there was an underrated save by McHugh there earlier. That was a shot earlier that he just knocked away. That went super high. But they have been doing very well, the Colonels have, with scoring recently, so making sure that they don't get any easy ones going in. They certainly don't need them.
They need about 1, 2, maybe 3 more before they decide to pull their goalie. Pulling your goalie down 5, usually not worth it, as this puck's fired out.
It'd definitely be a strategy.
It would be a strategy. It'd be a Ren playing NHL 24 strategy, I think, though. This puck turned over, but Dogs win it back quickly. Dangerous turnover. Good job here on the forecheck. Thrown in on McHugh and caught in the glove. That one like a pop fly where he had to scoop it out from under with about 2 minutes and 39 seconds remaining.
I actually pull my goalie on the power play for a 6-on-4. They don't teach you that one, but it works every time with the Oilers.
Who do you sub in on that power play line then? Or do you just let the goalie go? He plays...
honestly, just send the goalie down and to let him play offense a little bit.
Give McHugh some offensive zone time here. Instead, I don't think that's in the plans for the Ice Dogs. They'll look to clear here after the face-off loss and shot goes wide. Colonels get it down low, off a couple skates back to the point. Again, off another skate, this time to the half wall. Sent down low. Skating in, Boatwright. Does a lot to keep the puck, but is finally broken up, and now the Dogs will skate it out. They look for a stretch pass, but are unable to complete it. As the Colonels will regroup. 2 minutes remain in this game. Turnover forced here by Schwanekamp. Schwanekamp blows a tire, tries to get the pass off. It finds its way to Herzig. Herzig just misses the tape, though. Interesting series of events. Now cherry picking is Celia. One-on-one with McHugh. McHugh can't save it and tucks it. Does Celia, and there's a big cry for him.
And the captain netting one on a little 1-on-0 shot there. And he had a nice toe drag that McHugh couldn't just seem to locate. And so McHugh, who was doing really well the first 2 periods, has let in quite a few. Part of that could be that the Ice Dogs' defense has weakened significantly, though.
Yeah, this is, no matter whether you come away this game with the win or not, this is not how you want to play a third period going into the future. As Herzliga was tricked up right in front of the camera. He looks to be hurting as he caught the skate from the Colonel.
And McHugh, who's been averaging about 7 goals a game allowed, I'm sure would have wanted a 2-goal game to help his stats out a little bit.
George is off, so they'll regroup. I would say so, but everything that he's pretty much let in hasn't exactly been his fault. I don't think there was a save he was expected to make that he didn't. So you can at least keep your head high on that, as there's under a minute remaining here at the Classic Center Foundry Pavilion, as this one's turned away by Cisna.
I'm wondering if McHugh and Cisna...
Shot scored! Sorry to cut you off, Ren, but Santa Maria throws it out in front, and Maurer able to beat Cisna glove side. At least that might be something you can walk away being proud about.
Well, what I was going to say became very outdated as soon as they scored on that, but great job by the Dogs there to net one last one, hopefully one last one here. It's 47 seconds to go in the game.
Good pass by Santa Maria. Not too sure how he got that one through. And Maurer wouldn't miss that much. D1 player, former D1 player. As time dwindles here, less than 40 seconds. Ice Dawgs looking to add another, goes off Cisna and just goes wide. Another kick save that almost got tucked in on the back end. This pass errant, and now the Colonels will have a rush. It's a 2-on-0, skating back quickly is Casey. Excellent play by Casey. Drops the stick to the ice, blocks the pass, and maybe shuts the door on this one. No more scoring likely to be seen. What a play by Casey. Playing hard defense even with about 20 seconds left. 0-0.0 hits the clock. Whistles blown, and the Dogs walk away with their first win of the season. 11-6 over Eastern Kentucky University.
And a great first win for the Dogs here, especially getting that win at home. However, I'm sure there's much film that Coach Jacobs is going to be looking over with the team, especially in that third period.
So teams will meet at center ice, led by their goalies. 4 handshakes and fist bumps. Exciting game here, Ren. Full of energy in the first 2 periods and a threat of one of the best comebacks we would have ever seen. However, the Ice Dawgs shut the door for their first win of the season. A home win makes it that much sweeter. They'll walk away happy with their 11-6 victory. So for Ren Grimsley, I've been Joe Kopsho. Thank you so much for watching. I think Ren and I are desperate to get warm. Not too sure either of us can afford that fireplace apartment, but we'll try our best to get under the covers. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned to future events from Georgia Hockey D3.